Dig that hole down in that snow and they lay me down on the north. That's right.
That's the song Up North from Nashville songwriters, the MEARS Brothers. I'm happy to welcome Jim and John Mears into the studio this morning. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hey, thanks, Mike.
Glad to be here.
Right off the bat, I have to admit, until my producer set up this interview, I never even heard of the MEARS Brothers.
I'm not surprised about that.
Well, I've spent the last few days listening to some of your music. It's obvious you guys have been at this a while.
Yeah, I think I was 9 when I wrote my first song, so it's definitely been a lifetime.
I read something in Song City that was listed the most successful songwriters from each state, and there were the MEARS Brothers on the Wisconsin list. Right up there with names like Steve Miller, Justin Vernon, and Bill LaBounty, just to name a few. Now that's impressive.
Yeah, that just goes to prove you can't believe everything you read. If you ask most people, including me, to make a list of successful songwriters, it'll be a list of people who wrote the big hits. And you won't find the MEARS Brothers' name anywhere near that list.
You know, I think what they're talking about is the number of copyrights or songs that are generating income each quarter. And that number's been growing and growing for us over the last 15 years.
It still has to feel good to be on a list like that.
Oh, it does indeed.
As you mentioned, there are a lot of great songwriters from Wisconsin, so we're just glad to be a part of the conversation.
So, how do you go from being a Wisconsin bar band to Nashville songwriters to Hollywood? What was that journey like?
Well, the bar band thing is a common story. You start out playing in your garage, then you do some high school dances. Next thing you know, you're playing every dive bar that will have you play.
Yeah, we eventually got out on the road with our brother Tom and lead guitarist Don Carls.
And where are Tom and Don these days?
Tom lives out in Vegas, still writes with us when he can. Unfortunately, we lost Don quite a few years ago.
I'm sure he's in heaven with his guitar playing the Kinks or CCR songs for sure.
Yeah, that's a nice thought. Still miss him every day.
So, why Nashville?
If you want to be better at anything in this life, it's best to rub shoulders with people who do that better than you. And Nashville has always had many of the best songwriters in the world living there.
I'm pretty sure if we never moved to Nashville, the bar band thing is probably where this story would have ended.
Yeah, that's true. We wrote for some really good publishers in Nashville, but for the most part, the Nashville music machine never really took the MEARS Brothers under their wing.
And then Hollywood comes into the picture?
You know, by the time we started working with folks in the film industry, we already had a few hundred songs written and professionally recorded. So they were able to tap into our catalog.
I think what I'm impressed most by is the different kinds of songs you have in that catalog.
Well, that kind of goes back to our early band days. From day one, I don't think we ever even played one show that didn't include rock, pop, and blues mixed in with the country stuff. So when it came time to write our own songs, we naturally wrote all those different genres.
So now when a music supervisor tells us they need an R&B song for a movie or a rock or blues song for a TV show, we got them in our catalog.
I imagine that gives you an edge over some of your competition.
Yeah, it certainly hasn't hurt.
You know, we tapped into a part of the music business we didn't even know existed 30 years ago.
And now I hear after a 35-year hiatus, you have a live show back on the road. Tell me about that.
Well, you know, we quit performing in 1988 except for occasional charity events that we were involved with. We talked for years about performing again, but we were so busy writing and recording we just could not find the time.
Yeah, you know, I think both of us looked in the mirror one day and saw these old men looking back at us, and we knew if we're ever going to do this, we better do it now.
So tell me a little bit about these shows.
It's a songwriter tribute show. In addition to songs we've written for film and television, we are covering a bunch of songs from some of our favorite writers.
They're mostly small venues, a lot of house concerts, and you know what, so far we've been having a blast doing these.
Yeah, house concerts have become a big deal in recent years.
You know, house concerts are really cool because people invite us to play in their living room or backyard. We agree on a fee. Usually they charge their friends in the mission cover to get in. They bring their lawn chairs and their beverage of choice, and it's just one big old party.
And, you know, I think people probably spend less money than if they went out to hear a band in a club, so it's kind of a win-win.
So if someone wants to book a MEARS Brothers house concert or any other venue, how do they get a hold of you?
Best way is to reach us through the MEARS Brothers Facebook page, or they can reach Jim or I through our personal Facebook accounts as well.
Okay, let's end with another MEARS Brothers song. This one is called Rockin' in a Small Town. Thanks again for coming in, guys.
Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, it was fun.
Time to dream.